get back to Alabama football here with Stephen M. Smith of Touchdown Alabama. Join him on his show, The Way It Is, on Fox 97.9, weekday afternoons from 2 to 4 Central Time. Tennessee's coming up this week, a beleaguered bunch. They eked out a win on opening night, Labor Day, in Atlanta against Georgia Tech, completely dominated in the rush game by the Yellow Jackets, but they pulled it out 45-44. They have since lost 3 games. Completely embarrassed by what we consider now to be the second best team in the SEC in Georgia, 41-0. Pulled out the game inexplicably, or should have pulled out the game against Florida. The Gators, of course, won on the miracle Hail Mary play at the end of the game. And Tennessee's last effort was at home against South Carolina, pretty much of a toss-up game in which they lost the field goal battle 15-9. So you've seen the Vols a little bit, Stephen. Nobody giving this team a chance. Nobody giving Butch Jones much of a chance to finish the season. What are your thoughts about the Vols?
It's tough if you're a Tennessee fan right now, because a lot of the fan base thought last year would honestly be the year where you have Joshua Dobbs, you have Jalen Hurd, there's Alvin Kamara, you have a lot of talented receivers led by Josh Malone and Jason Kroom. Defensively, Derek Barnett, Shy Tuttle, Corey Vereen, Jalen Reeves-Maben. In the secondary, Cam Sutton, Todd Kelly Jr., Emmanuel Mosley. I mean, the list goes on and on. The talent that Tennessee had, and to not get it done, to limp to the finish line. You beat Vanderbilt or you beat South Carolina coming off a bye week. You go to the Sugar Bowl mark, which makes this conversation a lot more easier to deal with. But that doesn't happen. And now you look at this season, a season that the Volunteers could easily be 5-1. However, they could easily be 2-4. So you're just thankful that they're 3-3. They met somewhere in the middle. However, to be a powerhouse program, they don't want good. They want cash money in the bank. They want elite coaching. They want elite status. And this game going to be highly difficult, though there are some pieces that could make this challenging. Number one, I look at Jared Garantano at quarterback. And Garantano, the redshirt freshman, I saw something during the latter part of the South Carolina game that really caught my attention. In the fourth quarter, he had about 4 to 5 passes late in that game, including 3 to Marcus Callaway, the only Callaway that's actually doing something, Antonio Callaway, or he's battling legal issues. But Marquez Callaway had a huge game. And they got down to inside the 5. Of course, they couldn't score. But Garantano showed me he can move the football in some big moments. He does also have some legs. He's very mobile on the perimeter. So Tennessee going to have to find a way to roll him out of the pocket some, away from that Alabama defense, get him on the edge, and really see what this guy can do. John Kelly is a beast at running back. 552 yards rushing, 6 touchdowns. We all know this. Callaway is a game-changing receiver. Defensively for Tennessee, they're going to have to play assignment football, and it starts with Colton Jumper at linebacker. 7 tackles, 4.5 of those for loss. You cannot afford to have Damian Harris do the exact same thing he's done the last 2 weeks, which is take a 75-yard run for a touchdown. If you do that, go ahead and get Butch Jones's pink slip ready, because he's not going to last. You got to have assignment football against Damian Harris, but that also opens up the zone read capability of Jalen Hurts, which is another thing you're going to have to keep your eye on and watch out for. You can't afford to pull what Auburn did against LSU and get outflanked. That's what happened on quite a couple of those jet sweeps, one in particular to Gage, where he got outside the Auburn defense and made a big-time play. Tennessee, you got to play assignment football on defense. Easier said than done, but you have to. Offensively, Jared Garantano has got to have this Alabama defense account for him on the field. And if you're Butch Jones, here's your rule of thumb. If you're Butch Jones. If Tua Tagovailoa takes this field at any point in this game, your job is over after the Bama game. If you can keep Tua off the field and Jalen stays on the field the entire game, and you can make this competitive, and by competitive, I'm thinking 31-17, 31-14, 31-21. If you can make this competitive, number one, keep Jalen Hurts on that field. But number two, make this competitive, keep it within the spread. Butch Jones can possibly make it to the end of the season. If there is any point in this game, Mark, where Tua Tagovailoa takes this field, Butch Jones, put him out of his misery.